to guide us. Happy New Year to you,
Thanks,
sir. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
New Year.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
Grazie, thank you.
Now, Dr. Darren, let's be honest. We're 2 weeks into the new year.
Jeepers, man.
Every single new year, I think one of the biggest resolutions that people have is to lose weight.
Yeah.
We go in full steam, lots and lots of gusto, and then by February, it's probably done and dusted. Why is it so hard for us to stick to that one resolution of getting healthy and losing weight?
Geez, I think all of us really struggle with the biggest issue is a lack of planning.
Yeah.
And I think that our expectations of undoing bad habits that have built up over a long period of time in a short time is the problem. So when we don't meet those expectations, we feel like a sense of failure. We feel disappointed in ourselves. And then it's really hard to scrape yourself off the tar after failing. And especially when on social media you're busy posting, ooh, this is my challenge, I'm going to be doing this, this is my smoothie. And then like 2 months later, you look exactly the same. So we struggle to pick ourselves up. So I think planning to fail is probably the biggest, the biggest cause. And I think setting yourself up and not putting enough thought into the process over a period of time. I think that's the biggest thing.
And the process is such an important part of it. They say it is 80% diet, 20% training, and so undoubtedly diets will soon start trending. But are these strict diets that kind of go, you must stop everything now and do this? Are those a good way to go about it, or do you have some other tips that we can?
I think you see your body is made up of quite a lot of chemicals and neurotransmitters. So from control of appetite is not only regulated by your sugar levels and insulin. There's an appetite center that drives what you crave as well. When your body is actually lacking certain elements and vitamins, you actually start craving certain foodstuffs. Children that eat sand, for example, or when they lack iron in their diets, they have these pica. Even pregnant ladies, when they lack certain things, they crave certain things. So that's the bottom line, you know, and we need to obviously listen to that, but we also need to discipline ourselves as to having a good maintenance kind of therapy going forward.
But crash diet certainly not. Did you?
Yeah, but like that earthy kind. Not anymore, but back in the day I saw worms crawling out and I was like...
They call it yo-yo diet. You know?
That's certainly not a good way to do it.
It's not a good way to do it, because the problem is it sustainable? When you go onto any diet, everyone loves getting the first 5 or 10 kilograms. I can't tell you how many times I've lost 5 kilograms within 2 weeks. But what happens then is, because I'm only eating egg whites every 2 hours, I can't sustain that longer than 2 weeks. My taste buds want real food. They want taste. They want nutrition. So it's good to do something that you can really sustain and keep going in terms of going forward.
Wow. When we come back, we are going to be talking about some of the tips and tricks that we can implement to help us stay on the weight loss wagon. But also we'd like to say that Dr. Darren Green's cuties, 2 little boys, are in studio.
Look at them. Hey, boys. You're on TV.
They're here.
Give us a smile.
So cute. Do also give us a call on 021 4309 881 if you want to talk about sticking with your New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, that's tough one, sticking to those New Year's resolutions, hey? But we're helping you out. Stick around with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Amy Hopkins in the studio, yes, and she brings her wealth of health knowledge.
How cute are those kids?
They're adorable. They look just like Darren. Way to go, boy. Way to go. Listen, so schools are starting tomorrow.
Exactly.
And lunchbox snacks, we want to kick it off on a healthy trend. It's great for you if you want to take to work as well. Energy balls.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
quick and easy.
These guys are really great to whip up on like your Sunday, or for example tonight before your kids go back to school tomorrow. And the perfect thing is that they're wonderful for you to take to lunch too.
Yes.
They're high in energy, they're very easy to pack, and really, really easy to make. So what I normally do is I stock up my pantry with a whole lot of these beautiful seeds. We've got some pumpkin seeds which are high in zinc and omega-3, so that's good for your immune system. And obviously you want to stay healthy and strong now, kickstarting the new year. We've got our protein from our lovely chia seeds over here and our almond flour. You can also just use almonds and crush them in the food processor, but almond flour just makes it go a little bit faster.
Right.
We've got some dates over here to add that natural sweetness, a little bit of cacao, so chocolate basically to give the kids that kind of treat vibe. A little bit of vanilla and cinnamon. Cinnamon's also great for just boosting your metabolism and kind of just adding that lovely warm flavor.
That's it.
So we're just going to add all of these ingredients into our food processor.
And this is what I like about these kind of energy date balls, is because it's literally just throwing it together.
Exactly.
And whiz it all up, and then
Totally. And you just keep them in the fridge because you want them to almost be nice and hard, a little bit more solid. So when they go into the lunchbox, just help me out there.
Like seriously, get it all in there, you know.
We don't want to skimp on the chocolate.
You were just saying it's there for the kids, you know. Like, what are they going to think now?
There you go, there's our cinnamon. And yeah, so you can even actually keep them in the freezer because I like it when they come out quite, solid and then they stay nice and cool in the lunchbox throughout the day. Then we're going to add just an extra drizzle of honey. You don't want to add too much, but just it's also uses a bit of a binding agent and a tiny bit of orange juice.
So what do we got there? Some
it's
orange,
our crushed orange, yes.
All right.
And you just want to start by just putting a little bit like that, and then just kind of see how it comes together.
Okay.
Because with all of these kind of date ball mixtures, it's all a bit of feel. So so now we've got our guy going, and let's just. Woo!
Got it working. Good. Well done. You can immediately see that cocoa is changing that color. It's amazing. The keyword is snack. SMS that to 33728. That's snack to 33728. Brilliant recipe, healthy way.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pack it in for the kids tomorrow when it goes to school. Also for you at lunch. Look, what?
Exactly. So
it comes out the balls already.
Ball, and then you've got some lovely desiccated coconut, and you just roll the guys in the coconut like this. It helps to keep them separate when you pack them together. And as you can see
amazing.
Here, the chocolate and the orange chocolate almond. It's one of my favorite combinations. And as you can see, we've got a whole lot just packed beautifully into a little lunchbox. You'd probably want to put about 2 or 3, and it's for kids to kind of have at their tea time or snack time break, and then maybe just before they play some sport, because it just gives them that natural boost of protein and energy to keep them going.
Exactly. All right, easy as that. Amy, thank you very, very much. So there you have it. If you want to try this one out, I suggest you do. SMS the keyword snack to 33728. It will be on our website, expressoshow.com, a little bit later on as well. Thank you very much, Amy. Always sharing your health and knowledge, and that is one way to stick to your healthy New Year's resolutions.
Crush, your daily dose of goodness. Now also available in long life.
Made with love by Clover.
Wow, I'm so proud of us. We're like hitting the ground running, hey? From healthy tips in the kitchen to having Dr. Darren Green here. We're talking about New Year's resolutions and how to stick to them. And if you have a question or a comment, give us a call on 021-430-9881. We ended off our last segment with New Year's resolutions on staying on the health bandwagon or the weight loss bandwagon. What are some of the tips and tricks that you have just to make it a little bit of the fundamentals, if you will?
So firstly, don't do it alone. If you've got family and infrastructure around you, it's so much easier to cook once for the whole family instead of cooking for 4 people on individual diets. The quantities, the portions, the type of food you'll be eating, whether you're a child or an adult, are important. And I think making those healthy decisions, not to have things like refined carbs and high content fizzy drinks in your home, don't have them there for the temptation. So start off with what you're preparing with in terms of the shopping. We all have that naughty cupboard. That naughty cupboard. Everyone's got the naughty cupboard, the sinner's cupboard.
Goodness, man. So it got me at like 12 last night. Oh,
naughty cupboard.
Massive packet of chips.
You've got to prep for that, and then surround yourself with people that are interested with the same goals. Make an appointment. It often helps to start off committing with either a friend or a neighbor or a trainer for some people. Because then you're paying money and you can't just cancel the appointment and not pitch. It's very different when you make that kind of commitment. And then, of course, energy-wise, you're going to need to prep. So you need to make decisions around sleeping enough before an exercise bout the next morning, for example. And I think that lies right at the start. So when I said planning, I really mean choose the time of the year. If you know that you're not going to have time and you're working 16-hour days, for example, don't plan to launch your attempt at weight loss in that period. You know, try and structure it in a time when you can give it dedicated focus and then take it from there.
All right. I want to quickly talk about the 3 big challenges that you want to issue all our viewers for 2018 and how important those are
I think
to your personal health.
The biggest one right at the top is going for your health checks annually. I think an annual health check, a lot of people don't know what it really entails. You can see everyone fears going for the dreaded prostate check. We've discussed that at length. You don't need to anymore. Your breast examination checks, your cholesterol checks, your thyroid. Weight management is often linked to hormonal profiles, whether it be estrogen, thyroid, or even cortisol levels. So people need to understand that diabetes screening, hypertension, that all happens during your initial health check, which you should do once a year. Obviously, along with that, we need to drink enough water, because the benefits of drinking pure water is unbelievable. And I know we have a water crisis right now, but the health benefits of drinking water instead of other products that are based in water that have so many things added to them are phenomenal. And then, of course, sleep. People underestimate the power of the human brain and what it can do in terms of innovation, creativity and problem solving if we sleep enough. And when I say enough, I mean 7 to 9 hours a night. So you need to plan those 7 hours.
Yeah, get into bed very, very early. But I mean, I want some of the health risks that can be avoided. For instance, by going to your annual health check, by going to the dentist, having your thyroid checked, screened for cancer and all those things. What are some of the health risks?
Well, the big ones, for the ladies particularly, are the HPV virus and the vaccine that we give in children at the age of 9 already in schools. So preventing things like cervical cancer, breast cancer. Those are often picked up by that regular checkup and your annual checkups. And then, of course, obviously in men, I mentioned the prostate early on. The non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease, all those are interlinked, along with that gout, for example. And that increases your risk of obviously morbidity and also then even death due to things like stroke and heart attacks. So that's the pickup. The pickup is the silent killers that we miss in everyday life. To pick those up during the screening.
Okay. Well,
There we are, talking with Dr. Darren Green. What were those? Get your yearly check, get your drink more water, and get more sleep. I've already got 0 out of 3, so I need to work on those things. Our lines are open, 021 4309 881. The doctor's in the house. Give him a call.
Well, we're taking a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, we continue with Dr. Darren Green and it's back to school health for the kids. If you've got a comment or a question, those lines are open. That number's 021 4309 881.
How's the date pool tasting, eh?
Hey, listen, 2018 just started. I had my first date this morning.
Oh, then I know Amy Happy over here has got some incredible goals for 2018. You can do the comrades. You can do it. I know you can.
Now it's on the live TV.
You can. She has to do it now, but we're going to help you set some important and achievable goals heading into the brand new year. We'll see you after the break. I better have one now.
Welcome back to your Tuesday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Health matters is what we're talking about, and we're joined right now by Dr. Darren Green and his two boys, Matthew and Daniel. Hey. Hello, guys.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Excellent, excellent. They're 8 and 5 years old. How cute is that, eh? And we're talking all about heading back to school and how to make sure that your little ones are in the best shape and best health that they can possibly be. And so let's talk first about staying healthy and making sure that the young ones are healthy when they get back to school. What are some of the tips that you have for that? How do you ensure that?
The biggest challenge for parents is getting the routine back.
Yeah.
We all know it's been holidays. They've had time to do a lot more things that they don't normally do in school time. Like longer times outside, going to bed a little bit later. So to bring it back and to get back into that routine is tough, I think, for many parents. Because the benefit of routine on children is proven, scientifically and with the brain. The brain loves knowing what time it goes to bed every night.
Quick question, and wouldn't the obvious solution be to just carry on with that routine during the holidays?
When parents are in the holidays.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but when parents are excited to have them home during that time, you actually treasure the times around the fire when you're busy roasting marshmallows. And bath time at 7 o'clock is just no longer applicable. They even have what's called varkie aunt, where they don't even bath sometimes in our water crisis, and then it's a wet wipe, etc. So we do that too.
Daniel, how many
How
varkie aunts did you have during the holidays? Do you remember?
Hoeveel het jy gehad?
5.
So 5 varkie aunts.
Best days ever. I love that. Okay, so I know that physical activity is very, very important for our children. Is it important for the young ones to sign up for a sport, especially in the new year?
Yes, I think it's important. There are quite a few reasons why they must be engaged in a physical activity. It's to learn things like your motor skills in terms of fine coordination, coarse coordination, but more importantly, the social development of communicating in a team sport is invaluable. Your child doesn't have to play A team or first team anything. What they need to do is participate and learn the importance of not winning all the time, and also learning how to deal with losing a game and not being first all the time. And they participate in different physical activities with groups, and I think that's why it's important.
How do you teach that at such a young age? Because I'm a very competitive person, and I think I'm going to be a very competitive father as well. Not that I'm going to be like, you better win this game, but what do you say? What do you do to ensure that they understand that participation?
Value-driven parenting. In other words, the same value that you attach to them coming first or second in a 60-meter dash, in athletics, for example, the same energy, enthusiasm, and pride that you display when they do that should be there when they display values like honesty. Even if they did something wrong and they come and tell you that they did something wrong, you should make such a big thing about that, because the value supersedes, obviously, the accolade.
But do the boys play sport? Are they involved in physical activity? Matthew, what sport do you play? What do you love to do?
Playing soccer.
You love playing soccer?
En wie is jou gunsteling sokkerspeler? Who's your favorite?
Wie is die beste sokkerspeler wat jy ken?
Oh, no ways!
That is so cute.
Matthew just said his dad is the best soccer player he knows. I don't know, we'll have to take Darren out on the pitch sometime to find out about that. But anyway, we'll keep our lines open, 0214309881. We're talking about getting back to school, sticking to New Year's resolutions. Give us a call and ask Dr. Darren your questions.
Well, it's great having Dr. Darren Green in studio, and it's great to talk about New Year, New You. And I know at the beginning of each year, we always set these big goals ahead for ourselves, and your goals won't come true if you don't plan. And something that's also very important is looking after your health.
Exactly. And today we're going to be helping you out because we're starting a very informative series together with Natradale, and it focuses on everything around your health, around your wellness, and achieving those goals.
I think we all have different ideas of success, maybe buying a new car, getting your degree, or finally marrying your best friend. But what all of these scenarios have in common is that they need time and planning. The question is, how do you get from just dreaming about the things you want to do to actually achieving them? That's why we are joined by health coach Liesel Viljoen to tell us why we need to set goals and how we can achieve them. Liesel, welcome to Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. much.
I'm really looking forward to connecting with you throughout this series, this focus that we've got on self-improvement, I'm going to call it, but ultimately well-being. We all want to achieve that. Now, I've always had dreams of being a professional rugby player, but I've never actually gone out there and achieved these dreams. What is the difference between a dream, something that's there, maybe a narrative throughout our life, and a goal, something that we've set for ourselves maybe in a short term? What's the big difference?
Right, so I think it's important to start with by saying dreams are extremely important. And it's something that we look forward to achieving in the future. So it's sort of like a little seed that started growing and sprouting within your being, and you have this vision. Now, a goal is literally the method of getting to your dream. So preferably it would be a step-by-step process. So literally it will point you in the direction of fulfilling that dream.
A step-by-step, I love that. And that's where you can make it achievable, you can make it more practical.
Yes.
I think the biggest question is, and this refers to all big dreams out there, how do you start? What is the first step?
Right, I think the most important thing is you need to become aware of where you're at. And that is where you start. So a big dose of honesty is normally a very good starting point. And then, of course, a willingness to do this. So you would look at what it is that you want to achieve. You will honest up and you would realize, okay, there are certain things that I'm going to have to do.
How do you feel about using vision boards?
You know, when we're setting goals, when we want to achieve something, we're obviously applying the brain. So the brain, as we know, has these two sides to it. Generally speaking, we have the logical side of the brain, we have the creative side of the brain. So when we set goals at specific measurements, at specific time slots, we're very much in the arena of the logical brain. And something like a vision board are very effective by applying that creative side. Now, you have this dream. In the next year, I want to buy a certain car, a certain model car, right? So that is the dream. It's out there a little bit in the mysterious world. Now I want to bring it into my reality. So if I create a vision board, and obviously there will be lots of things on my vision board, but now I have a picture of that car right there. And I put that vision board somewhere where it's visible. I can see it often. So it is both a reminder of my dream that I want to create, but it is also speaking to that side of my brain that now can join with the logical and we can get creating this.
I love that. Now I want a new car and I want to be a professional rugby player.
You can have it all.
Stuff. And I'm starting to believe that it starts with a practical approach. I absolutely love that. You can achieve your goals, but make sure that they're realistic to start. Now we'd like to hear about your goals, the things that you've set for yourself this brand new year, and how you've achieved them already. Tell us by posting on the Expresso Facebook page so we can celebrate with you. We'd love to connect with you.
Natradale, you've only just started.
Alrighty, we're back again with Dr. Darren Green and his two boys, Matthew and Daniel, making their television debut. Say hello for Oma and Opa. Kijk hello, TV op man.
Ja, hulle doen.
Say hello, Oma, Opa.
Hello, Oma.
That's beautiful. So with regards to making sure, Dr. Darren, that the kids get back to school as healthy as they can, how important is supplementation, making sure that they take, let's say, vitamins and stuff, versus them just getting it all out of their nutrition and making sure they eat the right foods?
So first choice is to get it through nutrition. Because the gut loves, obviously, the routine, and that's what we're designed for. You've got enzymes and so forth. Artificially manufactured supplements, the control of that standard is not regulated by anybody in South Africa.
Yes.
So obviously the essential nutrients are things like their iron, if they're getting enough iron through vegetables, spinach, broccoli, that kind of thing, and meat, good and well. But also, obviously, omegas. Omegas have been proven very useful in terms of brain development in youngsters, but also in preventing Alzheimer's disease.
Well, we've got a call on the line. Monique from Caledon right now. Monique, good morning. Welcome to Expresso. What is your question or comment for Dr. Darren Green?
Hi, good morning. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
My question is that it's back to school and back to work, and I understand the importance of getting back to routine. So I just want to find out between your meals, is it essential to snack? Because with me, my job doesn't allow me to snack.
Yes.
What would the difference then be of not snacking and putting and snacking in between meals?
Yeah. So the principle there is your metabolic rate determines how quickly you burn what you're eating. And one of the ways to increase your metabolic rate is not only taking supplements that enhance that rate, all those ephedra-related fat burners, but also to eat smaller meals more frequently. For example, also to have protein and eat the protein first on your plate, because protein actually does accelerate your metabolism. So when it comes to snacking, it means breaking the gap of 8 hours or 6 hours between your meal times is very good. Having a little snack, whether that be some nuts, some almonds, etc., some apple or whatever in between, so that you don't get so hungry that you end up with the dumping syndrome, is where you actually eat too much and overeat.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for that call, Monique. Lastly, your last words of motivation and inspiration to just stick to those goals, whether it be for the children or for yourself for 2018.
I think family health is something that we all need to take ownership of, and I think dads, moms, we need to lead by example. Part of the motivation for me to panel beat this body into shape is so that I can be an example to them to take their health seriously in the future as well. So I think that's where it starts, and lead by example. As I say, don't be stranded and be an island, don't be alone. Bring someone into your journey, and I think that helps you be more successful at what you're going to do.
And drink more water and get more sleep.
That's it.
Go for those health
That's
tips.
it.
We'll see you on the golf course, sir. Thank you very much. And boys, baie dankie vir julle hoor. Julle was awesome. Well done it. Well done it. Well, I hope that enriched your life experience with your family, that you'll take some tips and tricks from there that'll help you in your 2018.
Well, we're taking a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, ways for you to kickstart your sobriety.
Yeah, listen, we also have a lot of fun. We have the cast of Macbeth. The witches are here and they're causing total and utter havoc on your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning. Don't miss these guys, they're phenomenal.
I went to therapy. I was like, I have to talk to therapy. I was like, I have to talk to therapy. Was. Oh my God, can you imagine?
Alrighty, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Thanks for starting the day off with us as we reflect quickly on some international entertainment news and what the stars are up to.
Exactly. Well, we're kicking it off with on a little bit of a somber note this morning as we confirm the passing of the Cranberries lead singer Dolores O'Riordan. Now her publicist confirmed the news yesterday, saying that she passed suddenly while in London for a short recording session. Further details surrounding her death and funeral are yet to be released. The Cranberries are one of the most successful rock acts of the 90s and have sold over 40 million records worldwide, with Dolores as lead singer for 13 years. So our prayers and thoughts definitely go out to her friends and, of course, family and fans all around the world.
Absolutely.
Well, talking about someone who is also, just doing something on a completely different level, Jonah Hill. He seems to have found new love. Now, the actor was spotted packing on the PDA with a mystery woman while on vacation in Mexico this week. And between stand-up paddling and swimming, the pair just couldn't seem to keep their hands off of each other.
Tiger Woods? No, sorry.
Oh my word. Looks like it. The creepy guy at the back there. No word on who his gal pal is, but one thing is for sure, love certainly seems to be in the air. Go, Jonah.
Absolutely smitten.
Look at that.
Hey?
Look at that.
Sure.
I just see funny when I see this guy.
Yes.
He's just always funny, but good funny.
Definitely
You know
good
what I
funny.
mean? Excellent. Well, great news for him and Lank Salalilieva.
That was our international entertainment news. And speaking of international stars, French DJ Klingon was recently in South Africa, and he's the mastermind behind the track Jubel, who recently reached over 161 million views on YouTube. Now, they're in South Africa recently, and Graham had the opportunity to catch up with them.
26-year-old French DJ Klingon isn't just known for his unusual Swedish stage name. He's also one of the world's most prominent beat makers, and he recently visited and performed in South Africa, courtesy of Corona.
Cedric, awesome to have you in South Africa. What a privilege having you perform here, and I think most importantly, having you on Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us. Not to categorize you maybe as a tropical house, or how would you describe your sound?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never categorized my sound like tropical house, but I get it because, you know, the sax on the summer, it sounds like summer, so that's why people say it's tropical. But I try to stay away from that, but I'm fine with people are saying that I'm tropical.
I've got to ask, with the stage name, the Swedish connection, what is that all about?
Because at first I really wanted to stay like anonymous, like no one knew that I was French. It was fun. So I took a Swedish name, like a weird thing. I found this one in Google, just long Google translation, I think. And I was like, okay, that's cool, I'm gonna take it. And yeah, so it was fun at the beginning. Then I had to say to the people that I was French and stuff, but at the beginning it was fun.
To date, the DJ and producer's biggest hit is a single entitled Jubel, which reached the top 3 charts in several countries in 2013 and helped cement his place among the world's top DJs.
Were there DJs or musicians, artists that inspired you when you first got going?
When I started to make music, it was Avicii, Axwell, all those guys. The Swedish house, you know, kind of music, and because there is a lot of melody, that's what I really like.
So you play a couple of instruments there. Was it first classical instruments and then the DJing? How did these two get intertwined?
I've always been a big fan of saxophone on stage and playing with people, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna add this thing to my music and I'm gonna try something different from the other. And what I want at the end is to have like a band. I would love to not just be a DJ, but to play in a full band.
Which side of the game do you enjoy more? Out there in front of a crowd, in a banging club, or producing, kind of getting into that creative side?
I like both, to be honest. It's cool to come back home and to write music, because the cool thing is to play your music to a crowd. I don't really like to play music from others, so it's, you know, you have to do both to be satisfied. And there is not a better feeling than playing a new record that you have never played before to a crowd, and they love it. And it's also cool to be back in the studio and to just come down and just chill.
Is there a formula that you stick to when you create a hit? Certainly a hit as big as Jubel or something like that.
The trend and what people like evolve, so you have to evolve with that. So there is not a formula that's going to work for
forever. Yeah.
It works most of the time for two songs. You know, like you make a hit, then you have a follow-up and stuff. Then you have to reinvent your music every time.
We have got so many young DJs in the country that would like to follow in your footsteps. Do you have any advice?
You need to create something new. You know, if you want to make it, you need to be one of the first to make a new genre. And I think the great way to do that is most of the time to take two really different genres, and to try to mix them to make something quite new. And it was the case with this genre, with my genre, because it was taking the deep house and the pop stuff and to make something together. And that's the best advice I can give, because it worked for me. So.
And then learn to play 5 instruments and drop an absolute hit and make yourself world famous. Simple as that. My brother, you're an absolute superstar. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your time in South Africa.
I will. I will, for sure.
Well, from international stars here in South Africa to stars right here on our couch, homebred, and we're very, very proud to have the 3 witches of Macbeth, the adult Panto, here with us. And of course, you got to get to see it at Gate 69. It's running until the 3rd of February, and a show that's been running successfully since October of last year. So clearly audiences are loving this. Really, what's been the response from people that have come to watch the show? I don't know if you've had a chance to interact with them afterwards.
And we do.
Yes.
So our signature brand as the Trolley Dollies is that we serve our guests their drinks at the theatre.
Yes,
and then we go backstage and change into the witches, and we back out giving them their drinks at the end of the show, and they just love it. I think it's a big departure for the Trolley Dollies into Macbeth, and our loyal customers that come back, you know, month after month, just love it.
That's insane. But that sounds like it's a very taxing exercise when you think about that. I mean, tell me about the changeover that happens between serving drinks to then quickly going backstage while they're enjoying that, getting into costume, into character, on stage to perform.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a hard day's work. But it's, we spice up the evening. Not for 1 minute are they bored.
Yeah.
And the great thing about serving beforehand is that people identify with the waitress. And then, of course, they see her on stage, and then they see her afterwards, and she's handing out a fabulous purple soft serve ice cream. So there's a lot of love going on from beginning to end, which is incredibly important. That's what we prize ourselves on at Gate 69. Just the fact that we're doing things a lot differently to most others.
Yeah. From a perspective of putting the production together, then how difficult is it or challenging is it to keep the momentum of the story? Because while all of that is happening and they're enjoying themselves in the company of their friends, you don't want them to kind of disengage from what's been going on the stage. How difficult is it to do that?
It can be difficult. At Gate 69 we try and foster the element of fun the whole time.
Yes.
We want everybody to be constantly laughing, constantly having a good time, and it's our job to obviously keep our eye on the prize and keep it moving along swiftly. Sometimes we get lost in the fun as well.
Most times.
Yeah.
But are there any other characters involved in the show that one sees? Yeah, so tell me a bit more about them, just to kind of build
we have two amazing actors that are working with us at the moment. They play Macbeth and Lady Macbeth.
Yes.
Tessa Denton and Carl Jardine. It's new for us to have actors with us on stage. It's usually just us, the Trolley Dollies.
Yes.
And it has been the most incredible experience. It's been really, really fabulous.
Excellent. So, with the year going forward, what else can we expect? Any other big productions coming up?
Yes, we got a lot on the cards, and of course people can go to www.gate69.co.za to see our lineup. We've got a fabulous act from the UK in Feb. And us three girls on a brand new show. The Trolley Dollies have an incredible new show starting on the 28th of February.
My word, the ladies are certainly very, very busy, and I need to come make a turn and come and see this show. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. The event details are on your screen right now, but you can also follow on social media at Gate 69. You're there. Also, is it at Kathy Specific?
Quite right.
Very, very right. So stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. We'll be right back after this.
Diva's Lament.
Diva's Lament. Thank you.
The previous one. Previous one. Yes.
Whatever happened to my part? It was exciting at the start.
Now we're halfway through part 2,
and we've had nothing yet to do.
We've been off stage for far too long.
It's ages since we've had a song. This is one unhappy diva. The producers have deceived her.
There is nothing we can sing from the heart. Whatever happened to our part?
Sick of my career. There's nothing we can sing from the heart.
Half the time the three of us are
one. I've no
I'm no huisgenoot award.
We're constantly replaced by car and Zoid. Car and Zoid. Whatever happened to our show? We were a hit.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to a bewitched Tuesday on your feel-good breakfast show, Express on SABC3. Enchanted this morning by the three witches of Macbeth, the adult panto that you can see at Gate 69, running until the 3rd of February. Get your tickets. In fact, here's a bit of a taste teaser of what you can expect. Here they are performing Diva's Lament.
Whatever happened to my part? It was exciting at the start.
Now we're halfway through part 2,
and we've had nothing yet to do.
We've been off stage for far too long.
It's ages since we've had a song. This is one unhappy diva. The producers have deceived her. There is nothing we can sing from the heart. Whatever happened to our part? I'm sick of my career, always stuck in second gear.
Half the time the three of us are unemployed.
I've no Grammy, no reward.
I've no huisgenoot award.
We're constantly replaced by car and Zoid. Car and Zoid. Whatever happened to our show? We were a hit, now we don't know. Now we're in this Scottish play, and who knew he'd turn out to be gay?
I might as well go to the spa, because Cape Quarter's not too far.
These two buggers have no class, while they both can kiss my ass. Yes, it seems to us they've really lost the plot.
Whatever happened to our...
I'll call my agent, damn it! Whatever happened to my... Not yours.
Not yours.
But mine.
Bravo, and hold and scene. Beautiful. Oh my word. I love it. I absolutely love it. You got to go and get your tickets. It's at Gate 69 until the 3rd of February. It's called Macbeth, the adult panto. You've got to see it. If each of you had to give one word to describe this show, what would you say?
Bizarre. Unmissable.
Crazy.
There it is. Bizarre, unmissable, and crazy. Let us know what you thought about that performance of Diva's Lament and all the other performances you've seen from the three witches a little bit later, or of course on our Facebook page and all our other social media platforms. Right now, it is time for the news.
In die nasionale nes, Eskom sê hy is daar te verbind om sy halfjaar finansiële resultate teen die sperdatum van die JSE, naamlik 31 Januarie uit te reik. Dit was die reaksie van die kragvoorsiener op 'n kennisgewing van die JSE gister waarin hy gewaarsku het dat Eskom se skuldbriewe gedenoteer sal word indien sy halfjaar resultate nie binne die gestipuleerde 3 maande uitgereik word nie. Eskom moes sy uitslae al in November 2017 uitgereik het. Ekonome meen die Suid-Afrikaanse Reservebank sal waarskynlik sy terugkoopkoers van dese week onveranderd op 6.75% hou, maar moontlik sy verbruikersinflasieprojeksies verlaag. Die SARB sal na verwagting sy besluit oor die repo-koers donderdag na afloop van die 2-daagse vergadering van sy monetêre beleidskomitee bekend maak. Die SARB het die repo-koers in November onveranderd gelaat en gesê dit sou verstandig wees om die huidige monetêre beleid te handhaaf. Op die internasionale front 'n diamant wat se waarde op so wat $40 miljoen geskat word en waarskynlik die 50 grootste in die wêreld is in Lesotho ontdek. Gem Diamonds wat die D-kleursteen by die Letseng-myn in die Bergkoninkryk ontdek het, beskryf die 910 karaat steen as van buitengewone gehalte. Die diamant is die grootste wat tot nog in die gebied gevind is. En dan ten slotte die Duitse kanselier Angela Merkel oorweeg glo om aanstaande week in Davos op die Wêreldekonomiese Forum met die Franse president Emmanuel Macron teen president Donald Trump van die VSA saam te span, en wat in die stadium lyk na 'n epiese botsing tussen mededingende wêreldsendinge. Merkel sê aanvanklik of liewer sou aanvanklik die 3de agtereenvolgende jaar nie na die Davos-vergadering bywoon nie. Die vonke kan dalk op die laaste dag van die forum spat wanneer Trump die woord gaan voer. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
Let's start with cricket and the battle currently underway in Pretoria, nicely poised. Sadly, bad light bringing an early end to day 3 of the second test between South Africa and India yesterday, with the Proteas on 90 for the loss of 2. So by the close of play, South Africa had built a second innings lead of 118 after India had been bowled out for 307 earlier in the day. Virat Kohli putting in a captain's performance, an innings of 153. Of course, AB de Villiers quick-fire 50, restoring some confidence after the loss of Amla and Markham for just 1. That second test continues today with the 4th day of action getting underway at 10 a.m. at Centurion. Then on to football. The focus of South African soccer shifted to Knockout Cup action last night as the last 32 draw for the 2017-2018 Nedbank Cup took place in Sandton. Bidding for their 3rd straight Nedbank Cup trophy, SuperSport United will get their title defence off with a round of 32 clash against the high-flying Bloem Celtic. Now the fixtures, Kaizer Chiefs will face Golden Arrows, Pirates tackle Ajax, while Cape Town City, they go up against Bidvest Wits. And staying with football, Man United claimed all 3 points in the Premier League last night with a 3-0 win over Stoke City. So that win closes the gap down to 12 points between the two Manchester clubs at the top of the table. United sitting second with 50 points, while City is still some at the table with 62 points. United next take on Burnley in the Premier League this coming Saturday. Also in action this weekend, Chelsea travel to Brighton, while Man City welcome Newcastle United. Then finally, on to the first major tennis Grand Slam of the year. South Africa's Kevin Anderson fell out of the Australian Open in round 1. That was after a 5-set thriller and lost to Great Britain's Kyle Edmund yesterday. So despite Anderson taking a 2-1 lead, Edmund managed to fight back in the final 2 sets to see out the epic win after 3 hours on court. Some other results from day 1 in Australia saw opening round 1 wins for Rafa Nadal, clearly over that knee injury that kept him out of pre-tournament training, and Caroline Wozniacki and Yelena Ostapenko also going through on the ladies' draw. And that's a wrap of your sport for this morning.
Well, on that note, let's take one final look at your roads. Starting off in Gauteng and Boysens on the M1 northbound, there's been an accident. That's before Car Street exit. You can expect heavy delays from Ormonde via the Crown interchange. And then in Fourways on the N1 northbound, there's also a stationary vehicle that's in the left lane near William Nicol Drive exit, and moving it to the Western Cape in Bellville on the N1 inbound. Traffic's also slow moving between Monte Vista and the Kuburg interchange. That's where we leave your traffic on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Just a couple of minutes past 8 o'clock. Let's quickly get a last roundup of your weather and temperatures. And once again, it looks like South Africa can expect nice and hot temperatures ranging between the high 20s and the mid 30s, even into the 40s for some areas. Uppington, one of those places, very, very hot today. But your temperatures for a last time on your Tuesday morning. Polokwane 13.28, Mbombela 16.27, Pretoria 16 this morning, reaching a high of 32, Johannesburg 15.30, Mahikeng on 19, reaching a high of 35, Klerksdorp 19. 19-34 with a couple of thunder showers. Some thunder showers for Kimberley as well, 20 and very hot later on today, 37 degrees. Bloemfontein, 18-34. Richards Bay, 19-28. Pietermaritzburg, 16 and a mild 24. Durban, 22 and a high of 26 with some thunder showers expected for your Tuesday. Mthatha, 14-26. East London, 20-24. Cradock starting off on 15, reaching a high of 36 degrees. Port Elizabeth, 19-25. George, 17-24. Sutherland, 11-30. Cape Town, 18-28. Worcester starting off on 15 minimum this morning, reaching a high of 34 degrees. Springbok, 11-32. And Uppington, very, very hot today, starting off on 24 minimum, reaching a maximum of 42 degrees. That wraps up your weather and temperatures right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for your Tuesday morning.
Well, it's time to find out the answer to our Travel Tuesday game. Where in the world? Now, this place has given me some serious travel feels. It's in northern Switzerland, and it's a global center for banking and finance, and it's a place that also has the best quality of life. Let's see who said what. Amanda Joy Lee says, it's so beautiful. I don't know the answer, but thank you, Expresso Show, for posting this stunning picture. No worries, we got you. Bridget says Basel. Monica says, wow, if you live there, you have to be super rich and super lucky to be in that place. And then Twiggy says, good morning team, I think it's Lindhof, but I gotta tell you the correct answer belongs to Olivia van der Wath, who says, good morning team, the answer is Zurich. Well done. Definitely a place I want to go and visit. It's on the top of my travel list, and if you like it, you might want to go and check out more of these amazing pictures of Zurich.
All right. Hoop the Loop challenge is on once again. Christopher is our next challenger. And gents, you all understand the rules. You have a minute and a half maximum to play. 300 points is the maximum that you can win. You've got to keep the hoop on your hips for 30 seconds at a time, at the end of which we will then add another hoop.
There we go.
Chris, I really think you should tuck something in at the back there. That added cloth is going to give you... There
drag.
we go.
It's going to give you drag.
Yes. we don't want that.
It's going to create excess drag.
You're going to throttle me, that's enough.
The other side. How comfortable are you with hula hooping, Chris?
Well, in general, right now, I'm uncomfortable.
But people are doing this as a fitness phase all over the world.
Is he very good?
I mean, it's really good for the core.
Let's give Chris's hips some space. All right. 3, 2, 1. Your 30 seconds starts now. Here we go.
Bubble, toil,
all right.
and trouble.
All right. This is looking very good.
Boom.
Back and forth. Back and forth. Oh, look at that.
Smashing it.
Slowing down. Oh. Pick it up. You still got to go.
10 points down.
So 10 points off of your 300.
There you go. Stand by for 10. Keep going. Because we've got a tie. Keep going. Come on.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. That was pretty good.
All right. So you're kind of tied. So you're going to have to go, Brendan. You're going to have to go without dropping it to beat them. You do realize that. Well done. I think that was.
It's a draw so far. Between Rudy and Chris, so you're gonna have to pull out all the stops at the end when it's your turn to go. Yeah, that's happening later.
Yep, and you did it in heels as well, which I think deserves
Absolutely. All right, listen. Please, of course, get your tickets for Macbeth, the adult Panto that's taking place at Gate 69 until the 3rd of February. Tickets are selling quickly. You need to make sure that you get yours and go and check out that show.
Oh, thank you, Kat. Well, I've just found out it's actually Dry January, and this is a great way for you to kickstart your path to sobriety. We'll bring you more details after the break.
Yeah, it's a Dry January all over the Western Cape. I'm just saying. But listen, I'm also in the kitchen helping you with your healthy eating ways 2018. Amy is back, and she's got these lovely looking frittatas heading your way. That and more after the break.
Do the movie, and I did. I said I've gone to therapy. I went to therapy. I was like, I have to talk to a therapist, see what they have to say, and because I do struggle with. I get anxiety about certain things, and press and things like that. It's, you know, all those things were tied into the Marvel responsibilities. And it kind of started to shift on me. It started to feel like maybe the thing you're most scared of is exactly what you should do. Maybe this is actually what you should push yourself into. And it just started to make sense to me that way. And I said, let's go for it. And, you know, it was a bumpy acclimation. It was certainly a nerve-wracking first couple weeks of shooting as to whether or not I made the right choice. But in retrospect, it certainly was. Oh, my God. Can you imagine? I'd be kicking myself. Oh, man. Oh, and my agent's got, you know, a lifetime supply of I told you so's off that one. Therapy. I went to therapy. I was like, I have to talk to therapy. I was like, I have to talk to therapy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's a Tuesday morning. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Right now, as we keep you up to date on the latest news from the world of technology. What's happening?
Dude, this is actually incredible. I think when we think of robots, obviously we picture hydraulics, networks of wires, metals, computer chips. You know, it's all kind of inanimate like that. But for scientists at the University of Colorado, the future of robots looks very different. They claim to have been able to emulate what looks like human muscle tissue. Incredible, okay? And it resembles our own biology when you break it down. It's made from soft plastic pouches that are filled with special oils. These muscles, that they can now be called, will then flex when an electric current is passed through them. But here's the thing. The scientists who've designed it reckon that it'll be able to lift 200 times its own weight.
Whoa.
And is capable of self-healing. So you imagine you can start injecting your own muscles or having your own muscle pouches. The bionic era is upon us. So it's obviously still at a very early stage of development, but they reckon one of these synthetic muscles costs as little as 10 American cents to produce, and it has a wide range of applications. That's incredible.
My word. I'm hoping that it won't be infiltrating the world of sport, because that would be like, that's just the bad side.
You're going to have the fake muscle games then. You're going to do it, man.
The fake muscle games. And in keeping with muscular development and doing things on the healthy tip, check this out. If you're one of those people that really does not like going to gym, or you don't like going to the gym, you know, even if there's a beautiful view, the idea of working out really is not for you, then this is for you. So there's a company that uses a black box VR system that you might like, and they're making use of virtual reality technology, and it's a new gymming company or gym system that's turning workouts into a game-like experience. So you wear this VR mask, and it uses specially designed resistance training machines where the user can then go through a series of game levels while working on their actual muscles. There's a virtual trainer within the system itself that guides you through these lessons or through these games. There are 3 classes a week lasting about 40 minutes each, and you're actually able to build strength and endurance by increasing the intensity. And this company unveiled this new technology at CES 2018, and they've earned themselves a Best On-Show Innovation Award. Imagine that.
Have they taken the narcissistic element into play?
No,
I wonder if you can see
sure
your own
don't,
muscle when you do it. That's the thing, man. I don't know if you've been to a gym lately.
Show you what it looks like.
Stuff, man.
Selfie at the end of it as well. Well, let us know what you think about these interesting stories from the world of tech and innovation. Of course, if you found any interesting things, do share them with us on our social media platforms using #ExpressoShow.
Well, we're well into the new year, and we've just come out of a time of celebration, jubilation, and festivities, and this can involve quite a bit of recreational consumption of alcohol, and especially if you're an adult. Well, the new year is always the perfect opportunity to start things on a clean slate. So if you're looking to kickstart your journey to sobriety this 2018, founder of World Without Wine, Janet Garand, joins Expresso to discuss the health and social benefits of taking on the Dry January Challenge. Janet, so good to have you on the show once more.
Lovely to see you again.
Oh, I must say, I think all of us are coming off of living our best lives when it came to the end of 2017, but having to make a lot of changes at the beginning of 2018. What are, some of the tips and the tools for anybody wanting to do the Dry January Challenge?
Sure. Well, people that sign up to our Dry January Challenge, first of all, they have to make a small donation to a good cause. But once they've made their donation, they will receive an email every single day full of tips, tools and motivation to get them going. Yeah. But if I can see what I can remember from those mails that we send out, we say don't do it alone. Grab a sober buddy there and have someone with you that's trying to experiment with other things to spend your time. So get a sober buddy, exercise a lot. If you feel the urge to have a drink, go for a run instead. And we have this thing that we recommend on our workshops that is the most popular tool, and it's a bit off the wall, but we say play the movie forward. Because just imagine you think, tonight I'm going to have a glass of wine. I know it's Dry January, but then I'll stop and tomorrow I'll be back on Dry January. Well, that one glass could well turn into 3, and then the next day you think, I'm over this Dry January nonsense. So, and then you've failed, and that's a shame. Surely all of us can manage 1 month alcohol-free every year.
Let's talk about the health benefits of maintaining just 1 month of sobriety.
Sure. Well, first of all, I think it's a wonderful way to test your dependence. I mean, I see it as an annual checkup. You're asking yourself, am I becoming dependent on alcohol? Because alcohol creeps up on you. It's not like heroin that gets you hooked within weeks, but alcohol creeps up on you over the years. Stealthy.
Exactly, you don't see it coming.
Absolutely. And one day, and if you're thinking, I can't do Dry January, I don't think I could get through it, then that's a bit of a warning sign. So, think about it, do something about it. So you test your dependence. That to me is a huge benefit. Another benefit, it actually refreshes your looks, which we all like to do in January, don't we? If you go on worldwithoutwine.com, we've got a picture of a lady called Nicola who came to one of our workshops. She took a selfie of herself on day 1 and then another selfie on day 100. She did 100 days of sobriety, and it's absolutely stunning. And we have people sending in for Nicola's cheat sheet, as we call it. How did she do it, every day? Because it is so stunning. So I say, if you're doing Dry January, take a selfie on day 1, take another selfie on day 30, and you'll be amazed.
Awesome stuff. Now, this is not just about maintaining good health and staying without alcohol for a month. There's also a very, very good cause that this is all in aid of. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Sure. Well, this is the 3rd year that we've partnered with a wonderful NGO called Earthchild. And what they do is they run yoga classes and life skill classes in schools in Kalicha and Lavender Hill. They've been doing it for 14 years, and it's just amazing. We've been to the schools, we've watched the classes, and the yoga classes, you see the kids kind of loving the positions and messing around a bit, and then gradually they're calm, they get calm. And the lady, Jana, that started Earthchild, her goal was to give these kids tools, tools that they can use to cope with their lives, which, let's face it, are sometimes quite hectic. So it's a beautiful project. And what captured my imagination was, because I thought about these kids and I thought, well, surely, they need textbooks, they need clothes. But she's giving them a lifetime skill, something really deep and meaningful.
It's amazing because the joining fee of 250 Rand, so far you've managed to raise 46,000 Rand, which is absolutely amazing.
I know. Our goal was 30.
I know, and you've far exceeded that. So thank you so much,
We're going
Janet.
for 50 now.
I love that. I love that. Well, I think it's a brilliant cause, and I think it's something that we all have to, because like we said, it's so stealthy, you don't even realize there's a problem until it's too late.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for being here.
Well,
there you go. You also can donate any amount that you can afford to join the Dry January Challenge. You can also register anytime during January to start your 30-day alcohol cleanse by visiting giveandgain.com or worldwithoutwine.com. Give a vulnerable child a kickstart towards holistic well-being while you get yours.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Right now, jumping back into the kitchen with the lovely Amy Hopkins. Amy Hoppy
Yes.
on social media. I love that because you're also full of energy. Absolutely love it. Listen, we're continuing with your healthy eating goals for 2018, especially now that schools are starting tomorrow
That's
as well.
right.
Healthy lunchbox treats, healthy lunch treats for you as well. And these
Totally.
amazing frittatas are right now on
Exactly.
the menu, along with this spread, a colourful
so
spread.
we've got
which is
tons of
beautiful.
lovely goodies that we're going to pack into the lunch boxes. But before we start, I'd like you to please whisk those eggs for me. And what we're going to do is make these gorgeous frittatas. They basically are layered with some lovely spinach, which gives you lots of iron and energy. We've got some baby marrows that are grated.
Got it? What?
Which gives you lots of vitamin
What?
C and antioxidants. And we've got our potatoes for those carbs, because you do want to have that kind of solid, balanced meal. Obviously, the eggs provide a lot of good
Yes.
protein, so they should keep you full and feeling satiated and strong and ready for the day. So
Satiated.
Yes.
Big
So what we-
words. Like it.
So what we're going to do is just layer some parboiled potatoes inside a lovely little,
Okay.
you can use a muffin tray. We've got a very cutesy heart tray over here.
Okay.
So just kind of divide some potatoes up amongst these little muffin holes. And we're going to put in some of our lovely grated baby marrow.
Right.
You can obviously choose to leave this out. You can just add the spinach if you like. You can also add tomatoes. If you want a little bit of extra protein, you could add something like some salmon, some lovely lean salmon.
Salmon would be lovely.
Exactly.
Together with maybe a
But
bit of
these
feta
are-
cheese.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. These are our vegetarian ones so far. Okay, and then
Okay.
we're going to add in a little bit of spinach.
Right.
Just kind of pack these guys in, and what you want to do is set your oven to about 180, and you're going to cook them for about 20 or so minutes, just until the eggs are actually solid and kind of they keep everything together, as you can see from our
Okay.
lovely cooked ones over there. So
So basically just pour your...
we're going to just pour our goodies all over. And what I've done is I've left salt and pepper or any of those other herbs out, just to keep it quite simple for kids' palates.
Right.
But of course, if you're making them for yourself, welcome to just sprinkle some spring onions or something like that on.
I feel like I'm going to make a mess, so you do that.
Part of the job in the kitchen, right? So
That's it.
we're just going to fill these guys up.
Okay, and then pop them in the oven and...
Exactly.
You're good
So
to
for
go.
about 20 or so minutes, and then you'll get these beautiful cooked guys over here. And as you can see, they fit perfectly in a lunchbox. So we're just going to take one of them and we're just going to pop him in there. Now
Right.
we've got a lot of other goodies here to try and make that balanced kind of filling lunchbox for the day for the kids. So I like adding things like baby tomatoes also in as a snack. And adding in some little cucumbers, which we can just pile. What I love is this
So-
little separate container over here.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is going back to school, be mindful. Kind of about what you put in the lunchboxes. Do something different as well. And
Exactly.
approach
Keep it fresh, keep
your
it
eating
exciting.
in a different way.
And then what we've got here is we've frozen some clover crush juices here.
Yes.
And we're going to pop a frozen juice into the... Hey, guys!
Hello, witches. Hello, hello. Lovely. We made you some frittatas.
Yes, we made you some balls.
We'll take them gladly. Thank you. And they are nice. I'm just saying. Listen, just before we lose track here for a second, the keyword is lunch. SMS that to 33728. That's lunch to 33728 to get your hands on the recipe of this delicious, healthy
And you can
frittata.
also pack some lovely dried fruits with your date balls for the kids and adults. if you guys want to try some.
Please have a date ball, and while they do and try, what is a witch's diet all about? Is it healthy, or how do you guys approach it for the new year?
We're not very good in the kitchen. All we can do is a witch's brew.
Well, yeah,
which
you
has got toad, frogs in and rat's
Protein.
wings and all that.
Yes.
It's a very protein-driven
Natural
diet.
though, right? Clean
Quite
eating.
right.
From the wild.
All right.
Farm to fork.
How are those balls? Good?
They're delicious.
They're
That's
okay.
Very good.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of energy after this
Very
one. Do you want
healthy.
one?
Thank you.
You're going to have one. The keyword is lunch. SMS that to 33728. Amy Hopkins joining us this morning. Thank you very much, Amy. Lovely. And to our Macbeth witches as well. Don't go anywhere. They are still going to be hanging around, and you want to see that performance a little bit later on.
Crush, your daily dose of goodness. Now also available in long life.
Made with love by Clover.
Well, things are certainly festive on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll celebrate our SA hip-hop artists.
Exactly, and then JP Sebastian is in the house, and we're talking about the film Megan Levy. Definitely going to be a tearjerker. All that and more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And we're with none other than the one, the only, JP Sebastian. How are you, darling? This is the first time I'm seeing you for 2018.
Yes, it is. Hi. Much changed? No, still happy to see me. Yeah.
I'm very happy to see you. Let's talk movie news. Of course, the Time's Up movement has been something that's been in the media for quite a few days now. Very, very important movement. But let's talk about Mark Wahlberg donating money to the movement.
Okay, which is all obviously conditional on other stories. So obviously, this is for the movie All the Money in the World that Ridley Scott directed. That also cast international creep Kevin Spacey in it, and who was rightly, I think, by Ridley Scott, he made the instant move to drop everything and say we're reshooting. We know this by now. Then for the reshoots, however, there was this controversy that everyone took the minimum that the Screen Actors Guild required, which is $80 per day. Like Michelle Williams made $1,000 extra from the reshoots of the movie.
Wow.
And Mark Wahlberg made $1.5 million.
Yeah.
As opposed to $1,000. So
that is a massive pay gap.
An emphatic what from Katlejo over there, who will not have it. So a man for equality over there. The gap was
shocking.
Yeah. So it was gigantic. And anyway, so after much brouhaha, it's really hard to say whether the dude just needs to get his mind out of the hustle mode.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that. I don't think he was being evil or anything necessarily like that. But they have the same agency. So why doesn't the agency say,
I hear you.
I represent you, Michelle Williams, as well. Our other talent got it. And then also you've got to wonder, everyone's going to make money from this movie irrespective.
Yeah.
Mark, since it was hard to say it was anyone's fault in particular, do you take money for doing reshoots for what is possibly the right thing to do if you still want the project to survive? Or do you put out the movie with Kevin Spacey in it and make absolutely no money at all? So I think it's, at least to be fair to the dude, who I don't like that much anyway, Mark Wahlberg, mediocre actor, is Ridley Scott instantly dropped everything to change the movie and didn't ask any questions about Kevin Spacey. It's complex. He was like, no, stuff it. Do the right thing. And Mark Wahlberg also did the right thing immediately and said, you know what, I see the problem and I think that it's a valid movement. It went all to the legal fund for Time's Up to represent
because at
women.
this point, I would not actually watch a movie with Kevin Spacey in, but it does release on the 16th of February for those who are interested in. But let's talk about something that a lot of people are interested in, Pitch Perfect 3.
Yeah, this one's interesting.
Zoe immediately just beams with like joy.
Little ears prick up over there. So I read about Pitch Perfect 3 last night on the official website for the United States Department of Defense.
Yeah.
Which is obviously where you read about teeny a cappella movies, right? So the story is interesting because independent journalist, I can't remember her name, but irrespective, she wrote an article, Caitlin Johnstone, about the involvement of the Pentagon in the production of Pitch Perfect 3. Why? Who knows? Fascinating.
Okay.
But 18 hours a day, a lieutenant corporal admitted that he was on set, in his own words on the official website, making sure that the United States military is like representative in a positive light.
Wow, okay.
And so this is fascinating because there was a recent report which I wish I had more time to unpack with you. Tell me how you're back if I'm going over.
If everyone said like that.
When journalists made a Freedom of Information Act request to the Pentagon and to the CIA to release papers that are now open to the public, 4,000 pages that detail their involvement in 800 major movie productions, whether it's Transformers, James Bond movies, or Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
There was, in the Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro movie, a CIA agent on set going, no, you can't do that, you can't do this.
That's crazy.
The movie where Robert De Niro teaches a cat how to pee in a human toilet.
Yeah.
So these things are fascinating, and hey, I could talk about it for hours.
We've got to love the world of film. Very, very, very interesting stuff. Thank you so much, JP Sebastian. We are going to be chatting about Megan Levy, probably another great movie to look out for a little bit later on. But for now, that's it from us.
Oh, some very interesting movie news over there. And 2017 will undoubtedly be remembered as the game-changing year for South African hip-hop. Stadiums were filled, the ladies showed that they were a force to be reckoned with, and hot tracks were born out of creative partnerships on international level. And on this incredible high, our local hip-hop artists had every reason to celebrate at the SA Hip Hop Awards and looking forward to an exciting future.
Because I think I got shot with an arrow. When one thinks of the local hip-hop scene, it's difficult not to ponder on all the beef, the drama, and of course the politics. 2017 had many highs in the hip-hop world. That's why it's only fitting that we reflect on the year that was and of course look forward to 2018.
The coming year will see more international music collaborations and some young artists debuting on commercial radio, thanks to incredible successes in 2017.
I think what
Casper has done recently to actually change the music scene, the music hip-hop scene, to actually open up so many opportunities for the youngsters to make them believe again and dream big. That for me was the highlight of the year.
Casper, Mufasa in your vest, right? Questa on his like winning in life and waleing in life and spiriting in life and all of those things. And then of course Rouge for making an incredible album.
Look, I got no ties to you. If you're leaving, I won't even fight for you. Talking about love when I'm just trying to tell you straight like I can't even lie to you.
I think I'm super proud of Shane. I just feel like real hip-hop is finally winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like hip-hop is finally winning. And Casper, you cannot deny what Casper has done. Questa, Casper, like they've just done so much. And for me, it's just more of the idea of people who literally did this from the ground up by themselves and then just built on and built an empire. Such respect for all three of those guys.
Questa owned it, you know, I mean, going over to the States, performing with T.I., you know, having the thing on Sway and his album as well. So I think he's definitely something special.
2018, you need to go for Cape Town. That's what I'm saying. I can't pinpoint one artist, but you guys haven't really met Cape Town yet, you know, on the South African scheme of things. On this scale, you've never really seen what Cape Town has to offer. I'm just one of the guys, you know. There's so many other males, females out there that are doing it, vocalists from R&B to hip-hop to electro. It's all out there, you know, so just keep your eyes glued to Kaapstad.
Baby, yes, baby, drop it down to the floor, you must just hold the tennis love, rolling with the youngster, with the youngster, with the youngster. Baby, yes, baby, yes.
I think 2018 we can't afford to sleep on anybody, you know. I think this year we expected certain guys to do certain things and they didn't. So for me, I'm all about the newcomer. I'm all about giving people opportunities and, you know, I'm kind of just hoping that they surprise us. So 2018 is open to anybody.
Fans embrace hip-hop's self-expression, so look out for edgy, lyrical, socially conscious and personal rhymes from local artists.
From Questa's international collaboration with Wale to Casper selling out Soccer City and almost ending his beef with AKA. Maybe that will happen in 2018, who knows? But nonetheless, we can't wait to see what's in store for the local hip-hop scene in the new year.
Well, from hip-hop to movies, this Friday at the movies, it's the true story of how man's best friend, in the hands of a courageous woman, saved hundreds of US soldiers. Megan Levy stars Kate Mara as the titular Marine corporal who detected explosives trapped in Iraq for 3 years with the help of Sergeant and German Shepherd Rex. But when lives are in your hands, it's not always easy winning them over. Here they are in Megan Levy.
From New York?
Yeah.
Me too. My first time in country. What about him?
Germany.
German Shepherd, I like that. You know what I heard? I heard the enemy likes to steal the dogs, right? Just strap bombs on them. Send them back to their owner.
Well, since Rex can break someone's arm with his teeth, I'm not too worried.
I don't know about you, but I got a feeling that this is going to be a tear-jerker. But more from you, JP Sebastian. What is Megan Levy all about?
It's based on a true story, as you said. The story of a young lady who goes from a small town where she feels discontented with everything around her. The family doesn't necessarily like drive her in one direction or any other. They seem also static in the small town. She's suffering with the loss of her best friend, and she just feels like sort of giving up and whatnot. Then she passes a recruitment center for the United States Army and signs up to join the Marines. Again, like I said, all based on a true story. And there she is sent after a minor infraction, after a night boozing with buddies, to go do dirty work at the dog kennels. These are dogs who are in the service in military encounters all over the world, including, in her case, she went to Ramadi and Fallujah in Iraq. And what they do is they sniff out IEDs, or improvised explosive devices, not electronic devices. And so, yeah, these are the people who, like they say in the movie, you know, they're guys at the front line.
Yeah.
We're ahead of the front line.
Oh, okay.
And then American flag and fireworks in my head. And so, hey, it's got Common in it as well, who's one of my favorite rappers and probably should go for acting lessons, but I love Common. Story of her with the dog, forming this bond. Obviously, the sacred human bond that we've had for centuries with man's best friend.
Yeah.
It even comes to the case where after, as you've seen in the trailer here now, they're both injured in an explosion. She gets shipped back home, and the dog, once he heals up quicker than her, gets shipped out to Afghanistan and does 4 years away from her. So it's like she breaks up with the dog. And then, yes, all I was asked by like everyone on set is like, does the dog die?
Does the dog live more like?
Poker face.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, that's the reason you should go and see the movie, and I think it's definitely one of those that I'm going to see it with a whole box of tissues. But how many tissues? How many popcorns are you going to give the movie Megan Levy?
Snollies. You're going to try and stop me from ranting about the military-industrial complex again because it's...
No, we know how you feel about that by now. Okay.
As a biopic, unfortunately, it's very linear. It's very connected dots. It's A to B. It's not interesting in that respect at all. Kate Mara does what she can with a very dry, boring kind of script. But every time the dog comes on screen, I'm like, oh, give him the Oscar. Because I had a boy like that. Jordan, I love you. I miss you. So this movie, unfortunately, fine to pass the time, but 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Not groundbreaking as biopic, as unpacking. Tell me more about the sacred, like I said, special bond formed between, and leave behind the love interest. I don't care about that dude.
Yeah.
Talk about her and the dog, and talk about, the mental strife that these soldiers go through, and the dog. The dogs get PTSD as well. It's crazy.
Sure. Wow. Anyways, thank you so much, JP Sebastian, for that 5 out of 10. If you are looking to go and see I think it's going to be a really good movie, a possible tearjerker, and find out, does the dog live in the end? Go and check out Megan Levy.
Well, the dogs have just joined us outside. Welcome,
clearly not suffering
puppies.
from PTS.
No. They are quite all right. Listen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we take a look at the top 10 cities to visit in 2018.
Then we explore a labour of love, the ancient tradition of knife making. And it's happening right here in SA. We'll see you for that after the break.
Hello, hello, hello. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. We good?
Will do. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso on a Travel Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. So last week we gave you a rundown of the top 10 best countries to visit in 2018, chosen by The Lonely Planet. Great resource. So this week we're getting a little more specific with those top 10 cities that you need to visit. And we've including Oslo in Norway, Guanajuato in Mexico, San Juan in Puerto Rico, Matera in Italy, Antwerp in Belgium, Germany's Hamburg, Seville in Spain, and obviously they shot Game of Thrones there, so that's suddenly become really, really popular. And we're going to take you to Down Under first up.
We're going down under. On that list is Canberra, and it's often one of those overlooked cities in Australia, and it's one of the smallest cities. Now, Canberra has also seen an exciting emergence of boutique precincts on almost every corner, and this one also is a first this year that a Test cricket match will come to Canberra to be held at the Manuka Oval.
At the Manuka Oval. I love the fact that we're going with places that might not necessarily be kind of really out there, the less beaten path. And we now move on to Kaohsiung in Taiwan. It's a cultural gold mine with a massive arts centre and 100,000 square metre cultural and music complex, including wave-lap walkways. Sounds amazing. This harbour city also has a lot to offer. It's a popular night market venue, experimental architecture, and a beautiful view of the Taiwan Strait from the now iconic Eye of the Mountain skywalk. Kaohsiung is definitely a city for anyone's bucket list. Sounds amazing. Magical.
Sounds like my
magical.
kind of city to experiment with. And then, of course, there's also Detroit in the US. Now, Detroit is a wonder of innovation and creativity, having transformed Detroit's abandoned buildings and into distilleries, bike shops, and even galleries. And they've also just opened a new arena to host two of America's favorite sporting pastimes. I'm talking about hockey and basketball. And you can also travel with ease and efficiency with the city's Q-Line streetcar.
Definitely a city on the up. So maybe you've been to one of these amazing places. Please let us know. Post some pics on our Facebook page. We'd absolutely love to hear from you.
Well, it's time for us to get inspired by this week's Labour of Love. And today we're looking at the very old craft of making knives with Rick Afonso.
Just do it. I spent a lot of time procrastinating and got to the point where I just did it, and I'm still doing it. My name is Rick Afonso. I'm a bladesmith knife maker. At every gun show, you'll always find the custom knife makers. And it was the first time I'd actually seen a handmade knife. It was completely different. It was sort of, this is a work of art, not just this utility tool that you use in the kitchen. The bug bit, I looked at it and I thought, one day I have to try this. About 7.5 years ago, I found a document online called The Cheapskate Way to Make a Knife. This document showed how buying a piece of knife steel and with the most basic of hand tools, a hacksaw, some files and a drill press, you could make a knife. From the moment I got it finished, the bug had bitten, that was it. So my design process starts out on paper. Usually when I'm doing the design, I'm drawing obviously the shape of the blade depending on the type of blade. If you're going to forge a blade, you would start out with a piece of high carbon steel. You cut a piece of the steel off the bar, then you light the forge, you heat the steel up in the forge, and then using a hammer and an anvil, you basically shape the form of the knife. Once it gets to a point where you've got the basic form, you then move to the grinder, and the rest of the process is you refine the bevels, so you start grinding them a little bit more until you've taken the bevels down pretty thin. Then you go through the hardening process. You would heat the blade up inside a kiln, either in a forge if you're a bladesmith, or an electric heat treat kiln to get to the right temperature. Take it out of the kiln and quench it, either in oil or using aluminium plates. Now the blade is hard. At that point you can then start working on the rest of it. This knife here has a guard. The guard would be shaped and fit perfectly. Once you've got the guard sorted out and these are traced and cut out and so on, you would have just plain basic square blocks of wood that are glued on. Clamp it up, leave it overnight, those will be hard. At which point you start shaping it. A knife like this is a Loveless drop point hunter, has a very specific shaping to it. And there's a very specific procedure to go through to get the exact shape of that handle. And that starts off using a wheel on a belt grinder. Once the handle is done, shaped, and matches up with the guard itself would be fitted and pinned, and then you run through the processes of doing the hand sanding. That's a long, slow process. You wear away your fingertips sanding to get out the scratches, and then the handle itself would be sealed oiled and so on. And that would finish the process of the knife itself. Most knife makers will supply the knife with a sheath, at which point you have a knife with a sheath and technically you have a finished product. The thing I love about crafting of knives, it's a combination of many different skills. You have to know how to work with different kinds of metal. You've got to work with wood, artificial materials or synthetic materials. You've worked with heat treating processes, working with a forge, drilling, cutting, grinding. Now, I can't see myself not doing it. It's just part of me now. The best way for a new guy to get started is probably to go out, find a trainer, someone will train, and do a course. Once you got the course, you know if it's something you want to do. And you've got a very good understanding of what's needed to do it. Taking something that looks like nothing and turning it into a blade, that is a very rewarding process.
So in case you don't know it yet, Macbeth, the adult Panto, is now on at Gate 69 until the 3rd of February. And it's about time that you get booking and get those tickets to go and see this show that I think is going to be absolutely incredible. Right now we get last little teaser of what you can expect if you go and see the show. This is the 3 witches performing the Witches' Chant.
Sisters, 'tis time! 'Tis time! 'Tis time! Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone days and nights is 31. Squirrels and venom sleeping got, boiled up as the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Feel it of a fenny snake in the cauldron boiling big. Eye of Newton, toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm sting, leaves its leg and howl its wing for the time of powerful trouble like a hell broth boiling bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, mourn gulf of the raven, salty shark, root of hemlock, dig in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and sips of yew, silvered in the moon's eclipse.
Nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of a strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab. Make the gruel thick and slab, add there to a tiger's children for the ingredients of a double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
Oh my goodness, that is absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. Have you ever thought of doing a school run? Just kind of toning it down a little bit, but doing a school run just for the benefit of those learners.
I would have to change the entire thing.
That's amazing. What do you guys individually love so much about doing this? Because it's evident in your faces when you are performing, you are in character, you are enjoying yourselves so much. What do you love about doing this?
It's really difficult to explain how much fun it is to perform in your own venue with your best friends in a show that you've created yourself. This is our passion.
Yeah.
Completely encapsulated.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3 of us have something incredibly special.
Yeah.
You know, there's no competition between the 3 of us. We only want the best for each other, and we bring out the best in each other. So.
Yeah. And being where you are now, what are the possibilities of taking a show like this and taking it overseas to the world?
Huge possibilities.
Endless.
Are you in talks?
And there are possibilities.
Please
already.
tell us.
Just, you know, a few people biting across the world, a few continents away, some in Australia.
I think there's very few 3 performers our size singing, dancing, live in drag, doing what we do.
And
it's very unique.
Yeah. People across the world are really taking notice
and
now.
so big, you know, it's almost 8 foot dressed up, so it's
larger than life.
Larger than life.
Well, it's an absolute privilege for us to be part of the journey in some small manner. But do go and check out the show. It's called Macbeth, the adult Panto, at Gate 69, and it runs until the 3rd of February. Tickets are available now. Go and get them. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to take a final look at what's happening on social media. Now, Kathy, Molly, and Harley are in studio, performing as the witches from Macbeth in the new pantomime at Gate 69 in Cape Town. We want to know from you, are you keen to watch more stage productions this year? Let's see what Candace has to say. We have been to see it twice already. Such a great, fun show. Contemplating a third time. That's amazing. Zainab says, absolutely love the snippet this morning. They are amazing. Joanna says, love the outfits. It's a great show. Elizabeth says, perfect and nice performance. Happy New Year, Expresso. And then Patsy says, awesome. Enjoyed it. Loved the costume. So it seems like everybody is raving about it. If you want to see what it's all about, then you might just want to go and check it out. It is at Gate 69 happening in Cape Town. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the witches of Macbeth.
In fact, this is the new way of hula hooping. We're going to do it like that from now on. I need to stop dropping my mic. There you go. All right.
It would be a physical impossibility for you to do that, right? Please don't try. Please don't try.
The Loop Challenge is back.
And we've got our witches, and you guys were amazing. I haven't obviously been able to compliment you. Brilliant
But honestly,
show. You guys
witches be
need
crazy,
tickets.
though. They are crazy.
Completely bonkers, and bonkers for trying this in heels and headdress and all. So the hula hoop challenge now is up to you, okay? So basically, we've had one drop each, guys. Well done. So you've got to go 0 fault. 0 fault, or we're going to call this puppy a tie. Are you ready, Brennan? Are you ready?
All right. Have you warmed up the hips?
I'm prepared. The adjustments that you have to.
Do you need us to? Wow.
Get us to whoa.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Moving out of your space. Let us know when you're ready. 2, 1, and hoop the loop. Okay. Now we got the momentum. It's nearly losing it. Keep it going.
Rhythm? You've got to
nice
keep the
and
pace
easy.
Going.
Yes.
Oh, we've got a rhythm going.
Feel it all around. 20 seconds.
Come on,
left.
you can do this. I don't know why I'm doing the motion as well, but I feel the need to
feel the hula hoop all around your extremities.
Look at that focus, that speed.
Here we go.
Home straight now.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, all right. What this now means is that in order to up the ante, we're increasing the number of hoops around you. So now you got to go with 2 around you. Should you do this in 30 seconds, keep them there. You will be the best witch ever. All right, 3, 2, 1, and hoop the loop. Go. Keep it up. Okay.
Come on.
We've got the momentum. Keep it going. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Make it pop. Make it clap and make it stop. Back and forth and pop and down.
That was a valid. You are champion, undoubtedly.
Congratulations. So clearly we know which witch is which.
Which is which? The witches, guys. Thank you so much. Well done. A little bit bruised there. This is like an Olympic-sized.
It is. It's heavy as well. Guys, come in. Meet the witches. We've got 30 seconds of the show to say goodbye.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Yeah?
Thank you.
All right.
So very quickly, one last time, where do we get tickets? Because everyone on the set wants to get tickets to see the show, guys.
Absolutely. www.gate69.co.za, or you can phone our box office and she will answer the call. 021 035 1627.
That's such a cell number.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful run until the 3rd of February, and for all the other big shows that you have coming up in the year, good luck, and let's see it shine all around the world. Broadway, come on, call us. West End, call us, come on.
Well, what's happening tomorrow on your Feel Good Breakfast Show? Check out some fashion reviews. We are checking out menswear all the way from Milan. You know how much I love menswear, right?
Absolutely, and then an incredible performer as well, Josh Middleton. He's only 17 years old, but he's phenomenal. He'll be making your morning very special. So stick around for that and a whole lot more. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Bye.
We love you.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Your feel-good breakfast show Expresso loves to wake up the nation with inspiration, meaningful conversation, and a lot of fun. We're also proud that this entertainment and interaction goes beyond TV, and we connect with the Expresso family on social media. So we're proud to announce that Expresso has been named by Africa Brand Index as the #1 TV show on social media in Africa. Expresso has top TV shows across the continent for communicating with our audience on social media. And this achievement is thanks to having the most awesome fans on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
We would like to say thank you so much to our online Expresso family for helping us become the #1 TV show on social media. Oh, it means so much to us to be able to interact with you, and we thank you for being on this journey with us every single day.
Expresso is known for its feel-good stories, and what I love about social media is seeing the response to these incredible stories. It's really heartwarming to see people sharing their own experiences or relay how the story has inspired them. It inspires us to keep finding and sharing these feel-good moments.
I love when the viewers laugh with us, when something funny happens during the show. We speak to the camera and we have a laugh in studio, but it's great that the conversation really becomes a two-way thing when we get to read the viewers' response and they are laughing along with us.
You too can be a part of the #1 TV show social media family on the continent, where you can take a peek behind the scenes and let us know how you feel about topics and stories on the show.
So if you're not part of our social media community yet, what are you waiting for? Please come and join the Expresso family. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And we would love to have your voice join our daily conversations.
Don't miss Expresso weekday mornings 6:30 to 9 a.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.